been a while. I think the last video I finished off this section, and I did get the course banded. And then I started my old West Town, ran into a couple of issues. One was the size of the board I had pre-cut. The buildings, they actually ended up a little big, so I had to increase the size of the platform just a little bit. Plus, and the buildings ended up a little heavy. I mean, they're just cardboard and popsicle sticks. I think I got 7 buildings now. So when I recut the board to make it a little bigger, I ended up using 1/4-inch plywood. So I didn't want the board flexing and popping the buildings off. And here's the layout of the buildings. So I have a jail, sheriff's office, I have a blacksmith, a mercantile store, and a bank. Kate's Landing, freight office, and of course I have to have a saloon. And then the church. Let me move you. I mentioned the wire was going to be underneath the board. I'd plug it in and set the board down, but it didn't end up practical. So what I ended up doing, where the church is sitting, I added another piece, what is this, 2 inches of foam to elevate the church, so it's kind of like on a little hill. But I carved another hole to bring the plug-in wire up through, and I'll set the board down, and then I can plug that in and set the church up. So this is the wire that will go underneath to all the buildings, because most of them have lights. This will plug into the power source, and then the church plugs into this. Clear as mud, I'm sure. That's what we're doing today, is soldering this lead to all the buildings underneath. So once this is plugged into the main harness that feeds the town, plug the church in and set it down. It'd be a lot simpler than what I originally thought I was going to do. Like I say, these little buildings, they're just boxes, popsicle sticks, except for the church and the mercantile, which I just used the cardboard and rubbed it to make the, I don't know what you call it in cardboard, the line, so it kind of looks like shiplap. The bank is the self-stick paper. It looks like brick. And the other buildings are just painted popsicle sticks. The windows are basically use stir sticks, wooden stir sticks, to frame them, and then toothpicks for the window, what do you call those? Stiles, dividers, to make it look like panes of glass. And then for the glass, I used the acetate, the clear plastic off the Axial boxes. Makes awesome windows. It's really cool when it's lit up. But anyway, today we're going to try to wire it. And that's going to be fun to film. Look the church, unplug it. unplug the main cable once I get it wired, and this will lift off. Underneath, all the buildings are glued. I glued scraps of plywood to space the board off so I could run the wires. Once everything's soldered, then I'll secure these so they can get snagged. And that's what we're doing today. But I realized I hadn't made a video in a while. Got other things going on, obviously. Life goes on. Building these little buildings, but it's hard for me to do stuff while filming and try to have a lot of respect for the people that actually make videos showing how to do stuff, because everything I've done here is watching other people's videos of how they do it. Anyway, just an update. The rest of the course, like I said, I haven't done anything else except all the border work. That's just to protect the edge of the foam base, because just rubbing up against it, everything crumbles. And the little town, my old west town, has nothing to really do with crawling, although I did enlarge it so I can drive through. But obviously these little buildings aren't gonna, they're not obstacles. But since I didn't use the other board that I cut out, I'm going to make another crawler obstacle. I have the rock pile that normally sits on here. I'm going to make another one that will tie into the arches, but it's going to be ultra difficult, because sometimes people just get bored driving around. I mean, most of this is semi-challenging, nothing really difficult, but I want to make one that's super difficult for people that just want to test their rigs. It is a small area, so I'm thinking when this comes off of the twin arches, it will actually come up to get more elevation, and then some serious steps getting down. It will all be fairly steep, and it will be pretty big. Maybe similar to the but make it very challenging. But anyway, that's my old west town. It's a lot of fun. When I get it wired up, I'll take some more video. And we got the town wired. The camera doesn't like LEDs. You can drive through, but again, that wasn't the intent. It's just an excuse to make all these little buildings. Let's see if I can show any details. There's the sheriff's office and jail. It's got a little pot-bellied stove. The jail I put a lot of effort into, and you cannot see it. But that's okay. And the saloon. The swinging doors. Cactus Pear Saloon.
I had some old wallpaper I put inside, but other than that, there's no details in there. And across the street, Jacob's Blacksmith. Got his little handles and tools. Put 'em up. And the forge. Pretty cool. Gilbert's Mercantile. I found pictures online of different interiors. Just printed them out, pasted them inside. And the LEDs pretty much wash everything out. And next door is the bank. Again, I found a picture of the inside of an old West bank and just printed it out and glued it to the back wall. And the church, and I think I showed that. That's what the original buildings. And then next door is Kate's Freight and Post. A lot of fun. Very impractical. I'd like to find some people to put around it, but another day. Town needs a name.